Rematch.
After 126 rounds of Counter-Strike, we're poised for yet at least potentially 60 more of them bad boys as we look to square off, showing the powers of both NiP and North here. Going to our last matchup of the day, I do have Chad Burchill to my right, and then I, of course, am Trace Saranthus. And, well, Chad, what is your take on tonight overall so far? Because it's been a long one, man.
It's been some bloody entertaining Counter-Strike, though, hasn't it? We've had comebacks, we've had Na'Vi with massive clutch performances, Simple doing what Simple does best, Flamey lighting this place up, and we were just on train. We thought we were getting off, we thought we had reached the end of the line, but that was just a stop along the journey because we're back on that map for a little bit more chugga-chugga big red car action.
Yep.
You know what happens if,
you know what happens if you get off the train, Chad?
No, I don't know.
It runs you over. So that's why we're going to continue on train, and that's why we're going to have North and NiP squaring off on it. Pretty simply put, you can game, stream, and record without compromise over on the Intel processor. You know you want one. You know you want that hyper-threading technology wherein which it runs so fast. It's so fast that the chat won't even notice I said that twice. And, of course, if we think about this, Chad, talk to me about the world watching in this sentiment, because right now, all eyes are on NiP to get out of this slump in which they're in starting the season off of.
Well, they played earlier in the day, and they actually split the series to kick their day off. So that's not too bad. That's back to the winning ways. Hopefully they can carry that through. That was on the secondary stream, in case you think I'm going insane.
You are.
Yeah, well, I am. We are now about an hour behind schedule because of how tight these matches have been. And I don't see that changing at all now because Ninjas, they do like a bit of train. North, it's their best map. So far, they've played that 10 times with this new roster since the addition of Cadian and Gade. And they've won it 9 out of those 10 times. So that's a pretty good start to have. It's their best map by far. And they're going to be going into this one confident, but maybe a little bit tired off of that overtime.
Off of the overtime is one thing, but let's talk about these ninjas here. In fact, the ninjas in pajamas have seen a defeat recently versus Big Clan on train, and that was 16-5, Chad. So if you want to talk about this being North's map pick, I mean, if you're a NiP coming in here, it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle, seemingly.
Yeah, I think if you compare the strategic side of Big to that of North's, well, North are a lot looser, they're a lot more free-flowing, whereas a team like Big are going to, really abuse your weaknesses. Now, for the Ninjas in Pajamas, I think they're going to be able to do better against a team that's playing looser because they can play more heads-up Counter-Strike. But if you want to look at, like, pivot players in this one, we know that Dennis is doing some AWPing. We know that Forrest likes to pick that bad boy up from time to time. So if you're going to be looking for players to be wielding the big green and going head-to-head with Cadian and the likes of AZ, who's already shown how potent he can be with it on this map, that's kind of where that matchup is looking. And obviously, we know that when Ninjas win games, Lekra seems to be putting up big numbers. So I think that's another win condition for the Swedes.
Well, they say Daddy's potent, but the reality is here, it's Voldemort that might be the most potent. That's a player that we can always look at on this north side to kind of watch out for. But I guess within this new structure... Yeah, Spellio... whatever, dude. Anyway, yeah, so take a look at this lineup, Chad. What do we know about North after this DreamHack Master Stockholm, after this sort of adjustment where Cadian's in and MSL's out?
Well, in case you've been living under a bloody rock, after they won in surprise at DreamHack Masters Stockholm not that long ago, they decided to shake things up, decided to change the roster, boot long-term in-game leader MSL from the squad and start afresh. This time bringing in Cadian of Rogue fame, where they played fantastically within the major, I believe it was. And he was kind of picked up, brought back from North America back home to be the in-game leader and AWPer for this team, alongside Gade, who was part of the North Academy, moved to North for about a split second, blink and you miss it, a hot minute as Jason likes to call it, flicked on over, played for Optic on loan. Now he's back on North, and this is the team. Kirby, Volder, AZ, Gade, and Cadian.
Yes, or Gil, not to be confused with Gade.
They got to say it the way... Gil.
Gil.
They do it with their weird accent.
Gil.
I don't know.
Gil, scoobly-doobly. All right.
That's Swedish, bro.
Whatever, my bad, man. Look, the teams are still connecting the server. We had to give them a little bit of a water break after that one. That marathon over on the last rendition of Train, where in which it was North and Na'Vi squaring off. Now, it's the likes of NiP and North. Because looking forward, I guess we could begin to discuss this just a little bit more in depth. I mean, do you think going from playing Train, having it go the full distance, to now playing it again, you're not going to be quite as on your A game, or you're going to be warmed up? Is this going to be a situation where all the tricks are out of the bag already and you don't know what to use?
Online Counter-Strike, I think, is always a little bit different. You're not going to be expending as much energy. The games are serious, of course, because you want to qualify for the finals, but you're in your home environment. You can actually just nip to your normal little bathroom. You can go grab a drink from the fridge. You have all your creature comforts the way that you need them to be. So the level of exhaustion from long games, it doesn't play in the same unless you're playing 8 games or something within a day. These guys aren't doing that. They are playing 4, which is there's still a lot of Counter-Strike, especially when it goes the full distance, all the rounds plus the bonus. But I think we're going to be pretty happy with that if you're North. You know, you're going to be feeling good after that victory, after that comeback. I think what we need to talk about, I'm going to try and bring this up for us now, is how poorly the Ninjas in Pajamas have been doing, because there are 7 teams, Trace, who qualify.
Yep.
Do you think they'll make it?
Tough one, Chad. You know
why?
why?
It is a tough one.
Because you don't want to bet against the house. NiP's not necessarily the house, but
Other
you
than
don't want
house?
to bet against NiP. You don't want to guess against NiP because I don't bet. You see that? No betting from me. But if we talk about this NiP lineup and its longevity and where it could be, I don't know if they finally found that one-for-all form that they're looking for. They've been trying to garner for quite some time now. I mean, we've seen roster adjustments, but do they have the consistency?
Well, after these 2 games, they'll have played 16 matches, which will be the most within the entirety of the Pro League, right? They're already sitting on 14. They're tied in amount of games played with the likes of Big. FaZe are sitting on 16 as well, so they'll be equal as the teams who have played the most amount of matches. And when we have, you know, what do we got? 26 matches in total for each team?
Smells about right.
I think. My maths might be off. I was never good at that. I should go
upside
back
down
to
in
school
Australia
and study. But they're currently only sitting at 3 victories and 11 losses, which is not ideal by any means. They're in a really rough spot. They are currently sitting at 3rd last in the ladder, and sure, we're still only on day number 7, I believe it is, so lots of Counter-Strike still to be played. But you don't want to be in that danger zone, right? You know, that's where we're expecting the likes of Ago, Windigo, Heroic. You know, those kind of names are the ones that we should be expecting to see in that bottom 3.
There you go. How about the rosters for the Ninjas? Dennis, Get Right, Rez, Lecro, Forest. And the people we're currently waiting on North, AZK or B, Valde, Cadian, and Guild. Gil. There's no D.
There's
there,
no
right?
D. It's just Gil.
Gil. Well, and 2 more that we're waiting on to get this underway. It would be the commentators getting strapped
voice
in
of
right
the
now.
game, we like to call them.
Had them brushing their teeth and washing their face for bed because it will be there shortly. Of course, we do have 2 more maps standing in between us and that. Or wait, you and that.
Well, them in bed.
Yeah, so, Harry, I'm going to hit you with a hard-hitting question right away, man. And I know you love these, but tell me you're excited for this game.
I am, mate, I'm over the moon, Trace. I literally couldn't be
Christ.
happier. You know, we got 2 of our favorite teams, NiP and North. 2 of my favorite teams, at least, going head-to-head. NiP, pretty shocking start to the season thus far. North is like a budding team. You know, like they just had Cadian come in, some interesting changes. I'm excited to see how they stack up.
He is excited.
He is excited.
I am.
But how many teams are your favorite, to be exact?
Pretty much all of them, mate. You know, I'm going to say like 25 teams.
He's playing both sides, so he always comes out on top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got a panderer.
You don't have to please everybody in life. The one person that you need to be happy with at the end of the day when you go
Is
to bed
me.
is yourself, Harry. So as long as you're
That
happy,
never happens, Chad.
as long as
you
you're
know that
happy,
better than most,
that's
I reckon.
Yeah, look, we all go through some struggles sometimes.
Things do get a little strange around the
It's a
hotel,
bit
but
spicy.
a little spicy. Guys, I'm going to have to ask you where you think this is going as we go into 126 rounds tonight. You're now going to be going just a little bit further than that. Of course, you guys are steering the ship. So where do we think this one's going on train?
We're on the nudist beach. There's a NiP slip coming. There's a North storming out the gates. And after just playing like 150 rounds on train, I'm feeling it. I'm in the North.
You think
camp.
North are going to continue where they left off?
Winning.
Yeah, I think North are going to take this as well. I think this could be a North 2-0. NiP haven't looked too impressive as of late. I'm hoping we get to see 186 rounds of CS by the time this evening is all said and done.
So an extra 186 or
No,
from
in
where we
total,
are
in
now?
total, yeah.
On top of it, 186 on top of the 126 that's already transpired.
Yeah.
So, in fact, the quick maths checkout, I can't even say that. It's just so unreal. But that came from your little guy's little island, right? Quick maths.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, that was the whole.
Is it like grime or something?
yeah, I don't really know much about it.
What type of music are you into, Harry?
A whole bunch, just
The
variety.
Brighton Beach Bangers.
He
I
likes
think.
all
Yeah.
the music because
likes all the music?
because he can't pick one.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That
Yeah,
would not be fair. And not
every
be fair
artist
on the
is my
other music.
favorite.
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
Go
You guys
on.
are getting it now.
Chad, how about this? You should get down to your prediction. Who's going to win right here on map 1? Train.
Look, I think North are going to take this one. I know that the Ninjas can have a little bit more fight in them, but they haven't really sold me on their performance within the online realms thus far, so I have to go with my brain. It's not the brain network that you've been talking about when we kicked off the show,
Yeah.
but it's big enough to think North are going to be victorious.
Talking big brains. BrainNet, way bigger than whatever brains are going on either side of this equation. You guys know anything about BrainNet?
No.
They are one
Definitely
brain.
look it up because I think you guys could already be on the same wavelength. I'll just say this. Scientists have really engineered 3 people to think the same way at the same time. How about that?
I mean,
you give us your final thoughts there, Harry?
Yeah, I think they've engineered 2 more right here in the form of me and Hugo. We're ready to go. We're on the same wavelength, and we finish each other's
sandwiches.
There we go. I mean, no, that would make us one of the Danes. Here is the game we're about to head into, Hugo. NiP versus North. The Danes versus the Swedes. A rivalry as old as time itself, some might say.
Yeah, especially in the green room here. You know, the Danes here, they love Danes. They don't love Swedes as much. So let's see if North can
throwing
continue.
Everyone under the bus.
Yeah, right. Either way, no names named. We're jumping straight into this one, Harry. Good.
Yes,
thank
we
God,
are.
because this is going to be a long one. I'm already feeling it.
Yeah,
North
let's
on that
go.
T side.
50 rounds of Counter-Strike we're about to see played before our very eyes. Get right. He's going to be the man. Like the prophet, the one selling us on this story. He stands here alone, and he's already been wrecked. AZ's found a quick double on the entry. Somehow it's Dennis and Get Right to get toppled. Forest, Rez, Letcrow. There's some names. What can they do?
Let's find out. Retakes on for NiP, but this is not an easy spot to be in. Those odds are already flipping for North, and I don't blame them. North not overfacing in this one. Actually, Letcrow does catch a quick kill. Make that 2, but Cadian's on this long flank, and that's going to be perfectly timed because Letcrow's just pushing into the site. Back turn. Cadian misses the shot, and Rez is now all that stands here for NiP, but he doesn't know where Gade sits, and that's on the site with a bomb. This is done. There's no time left for Rez, and Gade, he's just stayed alive to win that round. That's all that North needed. 1-0 here for the Danes as we start off train in a big way.
Yeah, North going to be happy to get off to a good start here. Hugo is researching BrainNet now. What's going on there?
I don't even know if this is...
Do you want to try and give me the TLDR?
BrainNet provides free access to a database of unprecedented array. It's just like lots of long words all stringed together that don't actually mean anything of substance.
There we go. That's
that
Hugo's official take on BrainNet. It's all pretend. How about this, though, Hugo? You know what isn't pretend? This eco round from NiP is real. We can see it. It's right in front of us. It's feasible. It's in physical form. Not for much longer, though, as they're getting annihilated.
Oh, Letcrow is here, and he's a bit of a digger, but AZ's going to shut him down from the top of the train, and North just begin to lay down the pain, start to hunt. Get Right finds 1 kill, and that's actually an AK gifted over. One of the 2 brought up this round from the North camp, but they should be after him. They've got him cornered. And Gade's going to be moving in through main as the rest of these Ts begin to surround Get Right's position. Any damage would be lovely, but he's not going to get more than 1. Cadian shuts him down, and there we go. North with a 2-0, nice and clean, only a casualty. But NiP want to send them to the hospital ward here as they start to buy up rifles.
Yeah, we're not going to be seeing that AWP out on Cadian just yet. Instead, it's rifles across the board for North. Over on the side of NiP, just rifles upon rifles. You can never have too many rifles. You just love to see it. So here we go, inside of this B-bomb site. We got 2 players here, one of them being Get Right. He's just shooting people through the smoke like it's 2013. He doesn't mind. And then he's going to go ahead and nade down Gade. So, decent start here for NiP. What a man to find as well. It's AZ going down. He was the top performer for North this evening. I think it's fair enough to say.
It's already top of the server now.
Yeah, and now we need to see the rest of the North boys try and pick this up. First of all, they have to try and overcome Rez, and Kierby, he's going to do that nice and easily.
Problem is, does he expect Forest? He actually backs out of main, and that's well timed because Forest has just moved into position. That flashbang's so good, and they spot him. Can they cut him off with this Molotov? He's already exited the sandwich, looking to take a bite out of this attack, and there's the bomb dropped. Letcrow joins him, and Forest finds 2. Gade's all that's standing now for the T side, and he's got a little bit too much on his plate. NiP going to swiftly respond with their first CT round and keep 3 guns going forward as well. That's the start you would have wanted for NiP, of course. Getting back on the board nice and early after only a single eco. And this is a bit of a topic we've been talking about as well, especially on the CT side, right? How weak those first round buys are. If you eco second round and buy up third, you can get rifles, but you can't get really much utility around it. But NiP, they don't need the nades, Harry. They find the frags instead. And now we've got North on the other end of the stick. What's the bad end of the stick? Whatever it is, they're on it because they've not got a full buy by any means.
Yeah, they're going to try and make it work regardless. And Get Right's mowed down. Absolutely everybody over here at the ramp. It is just AZ and Valde left alive, and it's a vintage Get Right performance. What's going on here? 4 kills down at the base of the ramp, and he has annihilated the north side. He rises up in the face of the Lions, and he doesn't look even the slightest bit concerned. He's locked in this round for NiP. There should be absolutely no way back into this for Valde. And I'll tell you what, if Get Right can keep this up, then I'm going to be a very happy chappy.
Thought you didn't have a favourite, Harry.
It's impossible to have favourites, Hugo. Everyone is my favourite. So in doing so, no one is.
Well, I don't know if that flash will fake them out too well, especially when Rez is watching this flank. And there it is. Valde's actually going to get the kill. Predicts the angle quite well. Even gets himself a gun to play with. Now that flashbang actually landed on top of the bracket. And he's walking into a crossfire. Doesn't expect the peek from Letcro, but not going to happen. NiP 2 rounds here. Again, both of them keeping at least 3 alive. That's so important to actually building up a CT economy. This is Get Right's fantastic 4K down on the ramp. Oh, that transfer. Absolute dirt. And we'll put NiP in a very positive position as North won't be able to force buy this issue anymore. They're down to just Glocks. And quite a lot of them, Harry. A couple of bits of utility alongside it as well. And maybe taking a bit of an existence strat here as they sit around in spawn and try and work out how they want to approach the next rifle round. What are they jumping for? Did they drop something out there? Is there a gun? Or are they just excited?
What's that as a screwdriver? That's going to do some damage. My God, that is the longest screwdriver ever. That's longer than the saw. That's just wild. Really, though. You could really screw some nails with that bad boy.
You don't screw nails.
Yeah,
you screw screws.
Oh, gosh darn it. Well, North taking the time, because their screws are loose. They're taking a little bit of time out to think about this. Oh, that's nice.
Teamwork makes the dream work,
building exercise. Yeah. You know, now seems like an appropriate time to do it. Why not? NiP, I love the idea that they're playing this super seriously. Like, don't even know this is going on back in T-spawn. You know, Get Right's probably listening in, sweating profusely over towards Connector, hoping that he doesn't get pushed. You know, let Crow down here towards Ivy. He's going to get tested. They're doing more run boosts. Ooh, that was nice. But now, we're into this round for real. Never mind, they've been smoked off. They're going to have to slow down a bit. Maybe elect to go through it. You've only got 25 seconds. You can't really wait. There'd be 10 seconds left when you push in. And you don't want to risk not getting any money. You kind of want to die. You're like lemmings. And round 1. Getting an answer back by Forest. This has somehow become a pretty decent attempt at a round. Valde even going to pick up Get Right here. They might be able to get this bomb down. Rez doing everything he can, and he is going to be able to do enough. 2 kills there, but that comes far closer than it ever should have for NiP.
Considering how that round started for the north side, the fact they get 3 kills out of it with Glocks and a single flashbang is pretty ridiculous. So, yeah, that's a good eco for North. They're going to be happy with that one. NiP losing the most players they've actually lost in the rounds they've won. We do have the guns out here now, Harry. Double AWP, Dennis and Forrest pulling them up for the CT side. We do have no AWP on North, though. 4 rifles. Didn't really see as many picks we would have liked from Cadian's T side on this map earlier on, but his CT side AWPing was pretty fantastic. Rez, however, he's locking down this round from the Pop Dog. He's got a smoke to cut off any ladder split, but North have no one in these halls, so they're just filtering out of main one by one. Dennis, he's dropped the bomb. And it will be smoked off by North. NiP is still pretty happy in a 5-on-3. Make that a 5-on-1. Blink and you miss it. It's just Cadian.
Ooh, just misses the timing there. Onto Rez. There is also a man wrapping around from behind. That's going to be Letcro. Cadian is very much trapped here as he tries to fight for his life. Minute left on the clock. They know where he is. Forest. Through that smoke there, going to go ahead and shut him down. So a 4th round on the board for NiP. And no money left here for North. So it's going to be a convincing start here from the Swedes. As they should be picking up a 5th round.
Another eco for the Danes, but this time it won't be 4 Glocks, and that's somewhat worrying as well, because think about how close they got with the Glocks previously. Now we actually have some pistols behind them. With investments, a couple of Deagles here and there, but Again, you're going to approach a round very differently when you have 5 Deagles rather than 5 Glocks. However, that's a great start. AZ's actually killed Get Right down on ramp. I imagine that was a bit of pre-fire. Get Right was just playing the spot position where you usually have your knife out or a molly ready to throw. And yeah, North, they want to take advantage of this. They want to go retrieve that gun down on ramp. They do have some nades to get them into this B-bomb site. Fortunately, not on the players in the box halls, which complicates things. They've now got to see where this bomb's going, and North do have it outside of the Ivy right now with the bulk of utility on Valde. Rez is going to be tested up close against these pistols as North look to throw themselves in. Maybe not even committing here. Again, the bomb should be going up towards A with this current setup, but Rez has already plucked off one. He peeks into Gade, and he'll go down as a result. There's 2 guns down on here on ramp, and North are actually going to pick both of them up. This could get really interesting now. They're going to back off of B. The rotation is forced as Forest comes through the connector, and North can go back into that A bomb site where the bomb already starts to make its move, and Lekro's dropped it already, but it's back into a 3-on-3, and North still have a chance.
Well, Lekro finds a quick double. Forest missed shot as Gade gets a free haircut, and oh, he's going to be handing them out left and right. He finds 2 quick frags, leaving now Dennis in a 1v2, but that's the bomb drop down at the feet of Gade. He's even going to go ahead and tag up AZ down to 1 HP. 15 seconds, and that Molotov falling onto the bomb, that should seal their fate in this round. AZ 7 seconds is going to be able to pick up the bomb, but he has to plant it now, and Dennis goes ahead and shuts him down, keeps his cool in the 1v2, and NiP going to be securing a 5th round, but that was, you know, once again, for North, just, you know, a small investment, a couple of pistols here and there. Now the real buy comes in. They've kept NiP very, very modest for a team that's 5-2 up, so all it's going to take is 1 victory here for the North side, and suddenly they're straight back into this game.
Yeah, it'll break the cash on the majority of these players. Only Dennis has money left because he wasn't forced to rebuy. Oh, almost killing his teammate there, Cadian. Careful. But we do have that AWP up on the T side, and that's a result of all this damage done from North and these ecos. All culminating to this buy here for the Danish, but NiP looked pretty stellar on the defense so far, despite a couple of close occurrences. We do have this A split coming through pretty fast through the Pop Dog and main. Rez is up close, all behind him. McGade's already gone for another entry. He's been so good this map so far. Valde's going to join the fray with another frag out through main, but Forrest has got to fall back. Walls of smoke cutting off his sightlines down towards that Pop Dog player. And this bomb should be going down here on the right side of the train for North. Kenright does at least get that kill. And actually, I think he dropped the bomb there. That's Gade falling short. And this flank has finally been activated from Lekro. So what was a great position for North is about to just fall apart. Because Lekro has the element of surprise, but the dink animation doesn't matter. He flicks back and takes 2, make it 3. Lekro wins the round for NiP. And cool as a cucumber despite missing that first kill. I love that. Dink animation goes back for it. Fantastic.
And I mean, you know, for these Swedish Vikings, he is rowing his boat upstream and doing an absolutely fantastic job. Really, really terrible joke. And yeah, tactical pause call on him for North. I think justifiably so, Hugo. The Danes not off to the best of starts here on train. You think about the long slog of the game they just had versus Na'Vi. Of course, they were able to close it out 19-17. It took them a while to get started. That seems to be a bit of a reoccurring trend with the North boys, though. Whenever I have seen them play up until now, it is always the case, these slow beginnings and then a very strong mid to late game. But there's a timer on that, and it's fast kind of running out now for this North side. NiP, one thing that you can say is still like pretty decent for North is they're going to be at max loss bonus, and they've been keeping these rounds reasonably close. So they always have NiP feeling uncomfortable with the money. That said, all it's going to take is 1 or 2 reasonably clean rounds here and there, and the Swedes are going to kind of nullify that problem.
Three AWPs here for NiP. Up against pistols, that can be a bit of a problem, but luckily North have 4 rifles in this round. Run boost has been spotted. That decoy, actually, not going to do anything. Lekro still honed on the angle to watch out Valde. Got to be very careful, though, because again, while you're tunnel vision down on the right side of Ivy, it's easy for players to sneak up that left angle. And they'll see his barrel sticking out as well, so he will probably lose that fight. Molotov, well-timed as the smoke comes in from North. But again, the lifespan of that Molotov is only half of which of smoke is, so North are going to be able to still push up and use this smoke to their advantage. They molly behind it. NiP throw down their own utility to try and cut off this push, but North has still gained some decent control down Ivy, and it's forced NiP into a very passive setup on this A bomb site, but with that comes a quad stack. Because they've already spotted at least 2 players down this Ivy position. There's a third as well with a bomb. More utility being expended for North, and they've not got a lot of time to play with, so this has to be a commitment here. Forrest is ready with a flashbang, and he may be trying to peek off the back of it, but he's been flashed off the angle. Gade's gone wrapping round, and he's taking down one and a second. Gade is going absolutely crazy in this game. Den is going to try and shut things down to stop this bomb from getting planted, but he can't hit the flick shot, and North have forced him out of the site and out of the round. This is going to be a Danish derby for this round, at least, because I don't think there's a way NiP can get back in with a double AWP.
Yeah, you don't want to go in for the retake with this sort of a purchase. Plus, you take a look at the money. We mentioned that's been kept pretty modest. If you keep these 3 weapons heading forward, you still get a very strong buy into the next round. You still have the double AWPs moving forward. North will be picking up a third, but they kind of lack that ability to chain multiple together on the back of this one victory, as the reset won't be coming in, and North not really in a position to go hunting either. They equally so want to build up their own economy here on the T side, Hugo. So it's going to be 6-3. North able to find around on the back of those 2 openings on Gade. This man been getting a lot of attention as of late, and I think justifiably so. You know, he's a very promising young player, been around for a little bit now. Tactical timeout called in by NiP, though. Immediately going to be answering back with a tactical timeout of their own. Some time to sit back and figure out what went so wrong in that round, and how do you put a stop to the elusive Gade.
Yeah, I was surprised Forrest went in with that flashbang, right? Because we already had 25 seconds on the clock when North were about to burst Ivy, and then Forrest re-peeks with the flash in hand rather than the AWP. Like, you know North have pushed up that far, so that cost NiP maybe the first kill, and as a result, just Gade running into the site, killing both A players, forcing that save, because NiP don't want to give it any second of thought with 2 AWPs. Straight out of that round, but straight back into another one, Harry, where they're actually armed to the teeth as well. Keeping 2 AWPs here, not 3, which I think is a good idea. Whereas Cadian, he's got his solo on this T side. Look at the Ivy aggression. Necro's gone for it this time. The problem is the Molotov there from the T side. They expected it. They denied any early CT pushing. Lecro's still in this spot, and in fact, the AWP being at the back might take their attention away, allowing Lecro to do some damage. That flash pushes Forrest back, and so Lecro goes forward with one of his own. Great shot for one. Valdi's still there, but if Lecro can get out without going for an overzealous push, this could be fantastic. The flash does keep Forrest back once again, but doesn't matter. NiP have the man advantage, and Lecro didn't overstay his welcome and get traded.
Well, keep your eye on Lecro overstaying his welcome, as he might get traded here. He's going to go push it down through Ivy. Valdez there. The one thing is, this is the bait and switch setup. You have Boris to draw in their attention. Oh, like a bird in the sky, Lecro will go ahead and pluck Valdet from this wall. Kierby's able to go and answer one straight back, though. So a 3v4 ensues, and you can see that Dennis starting to rotate away, leaves Get Right alone here at B, and AZ knows that he's far back, but they're playing this retake setup. Dennis swings wide, picks off Gade, leaving AZ and Kierby in the hot seat, 2v4.
Oh, Nade's default as well, been early, but Kierby's climbed up on top of the ladder. Needs to get this plant in, but it's so difficult when you've got 4 players surrounding you. I mean, look at them. Get Right's so close. Rez is on the flank, and the bomb plant does come in, which, if anything, is the best case scenario, because Rez and Get Right peeked him together. Even if he wasn't planting, even if you tried to take a fight, there's a max of 1 kill there, and even then, that's optimistic. So, yeah, bomb plant's not too bad. It gives a bit of money the way of North, and that goes a long way, because they're able to buy up here. You have the AWP again for Cadian, but a very slow start for the latest addition to North. A lot of weight on his shoulders, in the sense of being the IGL, the AWPer, and kind of the new guy on the block, if you regard him in the EU scene, right? He's been in the NA for so long now. Oh, look at this pace from North. They are going quick onto this outer bomb site. Smokes it down, but NiP have crept their way into the pop dog, and this could be very awkward because Gade's not ready for it, but he flicks back. Nice shot to Rez. Forrest is on the edge of the smoke, and he does see the traces to respond back with a kill of his own, but can he follow up? That's a yes to damage, but a no to a conversion. Izzy gets away with 17 points of health, and in the meantime, 2 more kills have come through. Make that 3 for North. Get Right, only player standing for NiP. And that was looking like a good round for NiP, but North just bounced back in an instant.
Yeah, coming straight back in with the 4th round. I'm going to be keeping it pretty clean at that. That's kind of the worst nightmare here for NiP. They can still get a bye together, especially if Get Right's able to stay alive. But you can already see North hounding him down. The Lions are out. They've been unleashed and they're hungry. Get Right tucked away. Going to have AZ and maybe even Kjaerbye come his way. Will he be able to stay alive? As this lone Swede desperately tries to battle back against the Danes, he lets Kjaerbye cross. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Well, Cadian is a ever-watchful Guardian.
Was Get Right going for the knife there? Because he really wide peeked. Like, if he just wanted that... I get that he checked Dumpster and then looked back to Kjaerbye, but if he really wanted that kill, he could have just one-tapped him instead of wide peeking into Cadian's orb. So maybe going for the knife there. Maybe not. Doesn't really matter anyway. Not going to get away with anything as North find their 4th. And again, back for another quick Olaf push from Kjaerbye. It's been molly from NiP. They don't want to allow North this early map control that was gifted to them so easily in the previous round. They got so fast onto that A-bomb site that NiP were not prepared. So they slowed down with some utility this time. NiP on their last buy for now, if North can crack the code and find a 5th. Arde's now the solo man down Ivy. He's smoked it off to keep NiP at bay, but the real push is coming in once again from Kjaerbye. He's going to walk into his death. Rez ready in the pop dog. And he's been so good in this position. Again, finding another kill. North need to get him out of this spot with some incendiary, some Molotovs on this T side. And they have plenty, but allowing Rez to just be an absolute demon. He's not done with 2 either, Harry. He's still in position there as North rally back towards the B-bomb site. Get Right going to be spotting him. That's all the info he needs. Smoke down, falls back, and North, I mean, this is getting desperate now.
Yeah, it's back to that drawing board time and time again, and now they're going to look to try something different. Back towards main they go. Yeah, and the issue is right now, Forest resides out towards this A-bomb site with an AWP in hand, and that is a terrifying man to run into. They're going to go and turn their attention back towards Ivy. We saw them have good success here in the rounds prior, and right now no one from NiP keeping an eye on this avenue of the map. Forest has now turned his attention this way with the AWP. 20 seconds left. North, they're going to have to be fast here, and Forest is already primed and ready to apply the brakes. Letcrow swings out wide with the MP9. He's good for 1, but with 10 seconds, this round's all said and done. And take a look at Get Right. Shame he's only got the UMP. Not going to do anything, actually, from this range. But, yeah, never mind. It's going to be an 8th round for NiP. He managed to pick that up, and on the back of it, there's not too much money left for North.
It's been a very back-and-forth affair. The previous 5 rounds now have been all won by different victors. No one's getting 2 in a row. And that usually kind of cripples the CT side more than the T side, but obviously NiP winning that previous is going to put them in the better spot rather than North.
Well, it would do, right? But you think about it, and NiP are able to throw in a couple of saves here and there. They can be pretty resilient to that back and forth nature with them and too successful at them. So you are indeed right. This is always going to start to hamper your CT side economy that much more. As a result of keeping that round fairly clean, though, over on the side of NiP, they at least have that to look forward to. You know, they've started to build up a bit of a bank now, a bit of a buffer to deny the reset if it does look to come their way.
Bit of a bonanza as NiP double the score of North right now on this CT side. Thinking of North CT side up against Na'Vi, that was one of the well, the ways they came back into that game and actually took the victory. So North, I wouldn't say they need a heavy lead on this T side. 5 rounds would be nice, 6 as a bonus. They shouldn't be too worried if it goes the way of that. But no one in the pop dog this time. Rez has given up, and at least North have started to throw Molotovs down into that position, because again, Rez has just been so annoying. Catching out these rotating North players into that A-bomb site. Instead he plays back on the site this time, and North are gifted free pop dog control. Look at Letcrow. Ooh, curious as ever. He's gone for the Ivy creep. Valde actually just moved off this position and went back into the T-Con right as Lekra actually peeked out wide. So that really is a case of timing, and it's going to go so wonderfully for NiP. Look at this, though. They've stacked up on B, and that's a wrong call to make. Because all this part of the map has been clear, NiP assume it's a B play, but it's quite the opposite. North have come out through the Pop Dog there, and there's no one here for NiP apart from Forest.
Yeah, perhaps a bit of an oversight. But Lekro still on the back line, able to chain together two. Continues his reign of terror, will finally get put down. But it's easy. Now with a monstrous task ahead of him. 4 players still to overthrow, and Get Right out from Pop Dog does delete the last Dane standing. As NiP going to be securing themselves a 9th round now. Keeping 4 alive as well. Doing wonders for the CT side economy. The bomb going down means that North have a little bit of extra cash, but not enough to buy. And it's this wraparound from Lekro. It originally, gives them a bit of misinformation, leads to a bit of a misplay, but they're able to correct it very, very quickly. And Lekro is able to get there in the back line, immediately shut that down. So often do you see those long flanks in through Ivy mistimed, where they don't get to play another round in a very big way. Maybe you get 1 kill or you take too long, so North would already be expecting that flank to come in. But he catches them very, very quickly, and ultimately locks in that 9th round for the Swedes.
Yeah, that's one thing that North should remain aware of, though, right? If you walk into the A site in a normal situation and it's completely empty like that, you need to be aware of your flank, because it's possible that, yeah, they've rotated off of the spot because of that exact reason, because you're being flanked, and Lekro has kind of misinformed his team. Again, it's fine when he goes and gets 2 kills like that, but that definitely could have gone wrong if North were watching their back and took him down, and then NiP had just completely cordoned out of the bomb site. Either way, 9-4 here. North back on pistols as they eco for the final round of the half. Gade is painting a nice, pretty picture. More like graffiti. This just looks like a normal A smoke round. We got Cadian setting up nades outside of T-Con. We got Gade doing the same up in the box halls. So nothing too spectacular here for North, just attempting to get that bomb plant in, try and take some guns away from NiP. Oh no, that's Forest getting a wallbang from Ivy into the top of Pop Dog, and that's a smoke dropped as well, plus the bomb.
They go back into it. But yeah, they finally decide to stop this, masochistic play over towards, just stop giving Forest kills through objects now. Still man advantage taken for NiP early on, and they haven't even seen an enemy yet. Now the push looks to come on in, and Lekro and Rez just gonna dismantle it. Hang on. Valde's managed to. Cadian still alive with the Deeg. Hasn't retrieved the weapon just yet. He's gonna try and get this bomb down. You admire the bravado to go for a play like that, but the 3 players inside of the bomb site do not let him get away with it. NiP 10-4 right now. And last round of this first half, the buy can come in for the boys over on North.
That's the worst part about that was Gade setting up a smoke, and Cadian is as well. Like, North wanted to go for an execute, but that 1 kill just completely shut things down, because then obviously Valde has to go back up, get the bomb, get the smokes. Maybe doesn't even know the specific smoke that Gade's throwing. I mean, yeah, just an awkward one for North. But either way, won't make a huge difference. We've got the buy here regardless. And while I kind of like to see the AWP on North, it's not like it's really been having that much effect anyway. It's been all the Forest show here with the AWP. And NiP have finally gone down for a triple AWP to a solo AWP, and that's probably the right call to make. So, Ivy push here for North. That Molotov's going to force Valde forward, and he's actually cornered. He may get caught by the spread, but no, it's actually Rez catching AZ, fully blind in the Pop Dog, shooting the floor just for good measure, and Gade drops in with a trade.
Valde's out from Ivy though, and they did just clear it. They believed that this was empty, and Valde's there. Forest now, a lot of this pressure going to fall onto him to try and step up, to try and deliver. There's still Dennis going aggressive over here towards Pop, but Gade is waiting, and Gade is ever so patient. He knows that this flank is likely to come on in. Timing will be everything now, and Gade provides a bit of a sheath, but still Gade sees all and is able to pick that up. In the meantime, bomb now down for North. Kirby deletes 1 more, and it all falls onto Forest. A missed shot gives away his position, and he's not ready for that crossfire between Valde and the rest of the gang. So 10-5, still in favor of NiP as they move into this T-side half. But as we saw in the game of North versus Na'Vi just moments ago, This North CT side is not to be underestimated.
No, not at all. And nice to see NiP finding good form here today, because again, this has been one of the teams that we've been so, you know, like questioning in this season of Pro League. The opening week, they got bodied. I remember them losing 2-0 to Heroic and another team that they really shouldn't have. And it's been like up and down, right? They split maps with Big earlier today. That's pretty good to see. They stomped one map, got stomped on the other. So it really just has been like an up and down affair for NiP. But, you know, knowing that North have definitely already proven themselves today on this map, and now NiP are 10-5 up against them, that's certainly something positive for the Swedes. But again, as you said, this game is far from over, especially as we move into the CT side from North. They have some pristine pistol players, AZ, Valdi, Gade. These are the USP men that we always like to see shine on this North CT side pistol round.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about kind of crazy results as well. You also had NiP taking that map versus Astralis on train. So, you know, this is a map that these guys are clearly feeling pretty comfortable on. They've already beaten the best Danish team on the world in this map. And now they look to try and beat out, I guess you'd say, second best Danish team. Could you give that to North? I don't really know how the rankings go after Astralis now, because it's all very turbulent with all these changes.
It's not even just that. I think it's just like all these Danish teams have had roster changes. You got Fraxes up in the running, right? Like, that's the thing.
They're going to be second, though. But like...
No, I'm not saying second, but I'm saying, you know, you've got so many Danish teams that could be in that spot. And I think it's it's so hard to rank them, because maybe some of them are better than each other in the sense of, like, I think maybe, you know, well, I mean, Fraxes beat North on land just a couple of weeks ago. The Star Series last week. Yeah. But maybe North will be better at beating top opposition than Fraxes, you know. It's different when you have domestic matchups in a lot of examples. True. So it's kind of hard to rank, but yeah, I'd put North right now at number 2. Optic certainly, you know, made a bit of a run at Star Series. Not quite what they would have liked, but semi-final spot either way. Yeah, it's hard to rank these Danish teams, but either way, North at least the roster of a second best in their country, and let's see if they can prove that here, and at least overwhelm the Swedes, their brothers from another mother.
Well, Crow going to go blow for blow with AZ, and Gade does win the fight over one of them. But here's Valde. We often praise him for his ability to anchor down at this B bomb site, and anchors away. He's gone ahead and shut down everybody. It's NiP abandoning ship. Just get right left alive in a 1v4. You can see the odds still in favor of North in a reasonably big way. They're going to be picking up the pistol around here to kickstart this second half, looking to try and prove the wonderful people over at Betway right.
Yeah, and again, as we said, we're kind of expecting that after the map we just saw.
See, I don't know. I don't know if I am.
Actually, yeah, to be fair, that was Na'Vi. Like, there were a lot of weird rounds from Na'Vi, right? They just shouldn't have happened. They saved like three T rounds at like 15-10 plus, and went for a lot of force buys as a result. So definitely mistakes that NiP for sure will not be making. But either way, you don't win a game without at least playing well somewhat, right? So we know North have this as a pick in the pocket. Glock's crept out Olaf, and Gabe, well, it's only a Glock on Forest. May get overwhelmed. He doesn't expect this position. Oh, he's climbed up. Forest should have the angle. Forest should be able to get this kill, or at least try and... Yeah, there we go. Bit of a stab in the back. Grab himself a FAMAS. That's nice.
Yeah, now he's got a gun, and he's also got a healthy bank account on the back of that. So everyone can now look to Forest to provide for us. Feels like... I mean... I don't know, saying the Forest will provide for us makes me feel like I'm... What was that race of aliens from the film James Cameron made?
From the
Avatar?
Film, Avatar, I don't know.
And I don't remember what their name is. I feel like one of them. That's something they would say, I reckon. I don't really know.
I thought you were going with Bear Grylls or something.
No, I think, yeah, I mean, Bear Grylls, he just kind of survives, right? He's not like, doesn't live in the forest.
Forest does provide for him, though.
Forest does provide for everyone over on the side of NiP. He can drop an AWP over. You know, he's rolling in cash on the back of that knife. Will he do it? Or is it just going to be rifles across the board? It's going to be interesting. I mean, I don't know why drop it over.
I was going to say, I don't know why drop it over.
But, you know what I mean? He has that now out to play with. And over on the side of North, they have no such big green gun.
Faster out will play for NiP as well into this round. Looking to bounce back despite North's pistol victory. It's AZ up close. Kierby's going to spot all these players come out. Olaf as well. And Forest has opened up, taking down AZ. Look at Forest go. He's on 2 kills right now. This knife is paying dividends. And Rez has even taken down that flank of Gade in the Pop Dog. Whether Rez is CT or T, Pop Dog is still his position. And with that bomb going down, Kierby is not keen enough to stop it because Dennis has his angle on Olaf. He's waiting for the flag to come out from Valde, but Forest is one step ahead, and that's just not going to work out. 3 kills from Forest. What a huge round with the AWP. Really making this work for NiP.
I mean, you know, now I'm getting flashbacks to when the Swedes took it to another Danish team. You know, you're speaking about the Astralis game. Forest was top of the board there as well, 26-10, which was an unreal performance from him on that map. He's looking to try and go above and beyond. This time we see Letcro, though, turning up alongside him. Dennis looking good as well, and these were all guys who played well. This was the winning combination when they did take the map away from Astralis. Now, the buys come in for North. It's decent, but it's not ideal. Certainly not the sort of buy you'd want to have heading into round number 19, being 4 rounds down.
I think a big factor of that as well, which was Forest had the most opening kills and the most AWP kills in that game. And if we think about like opening AWP kills for North, it's not like Cadian has really been opening up every single round on that T side. It's typically been the riflers like AZ, like Kiebi, Valde. These are the guys finding opening kills. And now that we have a T side AWPer that is hunting for these first frags, that's certainly going to make things easier for NiP. Cadian's going to have a huge task up his sleeve, but right now North have gambled on the wrong side of the map here. And they are already saving, it seems, or at least setting up for a save if this bomb goes down, because they pushed down Ivy as a group. They found Dennis. North may decide to go all the way around these box halls after they find this kill to Dennis, because now it's a 5v4. It's totally winnable, but the problem is they're so far away that they might not even be convinced, and that is the case. So NiP, 12 rounds, and they're not even getting a kill in it.
Yeah, just goes to say violence isn't always the answer here. You know, North, they got kills, and they lose the round. So, you know, maybe we should try and talk about our problems instead, Hugo. That wasn't a dig at you. We're not going through counselling or anything, but maybe Rez discovers this man just on the other side, thankfully. Oh, I was going to say, thankfully, AZ's like very malleable. He's bent himself into the corner.
He's very flexible.
He's flexible in role right now, at least. You know, he's been finding the openers for this North side. He's been looking good. But the real star of the show for me has been Gade and Valde. There's no doubt about that fact. Gade having a good showing. We need to see a little bit more, I think, from Cadian. I think you are dead on. You know, Forest has that potential to open up these rounds, and he's been doing it time and time again, and he's been mostly unchecked. So Cadian, the new man within North, the new brain behind this operation. We need to see a little bit more from him now in terms of his AWPing prowess alongside the calls. 5 rounds between these two teams, and that deficit is going to keep on growing if North lose this round, because they won't have any money looking to the next one.
Gade's playing close. That flashbang's perfect, but Rez, he's going to go through a little bit too late. Gade's flash has finally worn off, and he's taking a kill. Doesn't realize that he's being wrapped, but AZ luckily does have the frag to get right instead. Gade playing close pop dog, and oh, he's making a mockery out of NiP in this round. 2 players left up, but Forest and Letcro certainly able to pull this back in a 2v5. Not an easy feat, though. Letcro started off, but the AWP is close for Cadian. That's a crucial kill. Forest now all that stands, and there we go. Cadian winning that battle. Exactly what we needed here from the IGL of North. And 8-12. North are back in this one.
They almost certainly are. They are still a long way from fully closing this gap, but it's a step in the right direction. Quite crucially as well, they keep the round clean. Keeping clean is important, because nobody likes germs. And here's the AWP for Cadian. Don't know where I was going with that, Hugo.
I don't know, dude. The NA caster seems to like germs.
Yeah, they are just riddled with them right now. It's a real crisis going on, but you know, just a small donation and £4 a week will help the NA broadcast team.
Isn't that their day rate? Or their night rate?
Here's Gade going aggressive. He might be having a bit of a nightmare as he goes walking into Rez. He's been picked up early on. Letcro flanking on round out in this spot. How has he even got here? They have no clue. I have no clue. Kierby and AZ certainly have no clue. And that's a massive opener found on the back of Letcro. Valde's going to answer back as best he possibly can, but it's only 1 kill onto 1 man. And now for Cadian and Valde, what's the plan? It's a 2v4. And Dennis is down here and Popdog holding the angle. The bomb about to go down any second now. And I think for these two, you just got to save.
Yeah, right. The money's not very good either. Valde can drop over a gun. Cadian will have a little bit of cash, but it's not going to be a great situation for North, considering this is the hard reset from NiP coming in at the 13th round. And now you're at the spot where it's like, okay, if you're North, do you eco next round just to buy up against 14 and try and keep this game going? Or do you force buy, which, while could obviously get them back in the game, could also have the flip side of putting you on pistols when NiP have 14. Like, that's the option for North. Neither one is pretty, but they've got to make a decision. This is where a tactical pause would definitely be a good call to make. I think you buy. I think you have enough guns.
I think if you're North, you have to buy. Right?
Yeah.
It's how you keep the AWP into your buy round. You have enough to go ahead and get some rifles up anyway. It's not going to be great, though. That's the one issue, right? Like, you're going to have 3 rifles, maybe a FAMAS if you want to do that to yourself. But, I mean, how is Lekro given so much space? I'm not even entirely sure how he gets to the position he's in there. But, yeah, tactical timeout called on in, Hugo. You were bang on with that. North going to be taking a quick moment of decision-making to try and figure out how best to approach this round. And I'm curious, are we going to see that buy? You know, that carries its own limitations, as you were saying. Potentially you lose it, and then you're going to be 14-8, having to just force buy to the very end of the game. You take the eco, and you're going to leave yourself with a good buy into the following round. But you also leave yourself with a tiny margin for error.
I think here's what you do. You buy, you get aggressive Ivy, you try and keep the pressure up, right? We saw how good that pop dog control from NiP CT side was. Let's try and replicate that. Let's try and keep pop dog under our control if we're North. I think these Ivy flanks may be something that could help them out. And yeah, they've decided the same, at least in terms of the buy. 2 AWPs, screw it. That might work. Couple of M4s.
Channeled your inner Abe to try and give them some wise words of advice. And well, get right barreling on in. He's certainly not listening to anything that the North boys have to say about this one. He's already gotten up past that smoke. Dennis and Lekro finding 2 quick kills between them, and Balder charging on in, has somehow turned this around, but he's completely surrounded. Balder, they have to try and deal with him, but he keeps on slipping away. Back through the smoke he goes. He's onto the hat trick now, and single-handedly Balder's hauled them back into this round. Forrest does everything he can, but it's no match for Baltimore as he just smites down NiP there. He who shall not be named. Something about Harry Potter. I completely threw myself off. It's going to be North, though, reaching 9 rounds.
Yeah, what an incredible display of marksmanship from Valde there on the A-bomb side. That's going to save the day from North. If there ever was a time to have a huge hero play, it was with the round where NiP are about to force North to eco on 14. So, actually a pause going back, I assume, the way of NiP here. And that is the case. I think you need a break after getting absolutely stomped on that A-bomb site. 13-9 here. Still not a worry for the Ninjas. Let's just remember that, Harry. It was a huge hero play from Valde, but it will all be for nothing unless they can carry on and continue this comeback. NiP are only 3 rounds away from a victory on the comfort map pick of Train. Dennis on the AWP here. That might be off of a spawn play. No? But he's just taking it over Forrest anyway. Maybe Forrest feeling the rifle. He's having a great game as well, so I don't really mind too much what we see Forrest do. Everyone's going to flash himself in. Cadian missing that early AWP shot. He is blinded, falling back. NiP have brought the bomb outside of B, but they've got a couple on Ivy to keep up the illusion of an A-side play. And again, it's so good to, when you go for one of these B executes, to have a player creep up Ivy later in the round to catch these rotating North players as they go back through the connector. It's definitely looking like an end result of B for NiP, especially with this amount of utility. When you only have 2 smokes in the Molotov, I mean, the B site is made for that. Smoke down ramp, smoke in the connector, Molotov for the bomb. And here they go, diving on in. They don't even use utility. They just try and catch out these CTs. And Valde, he cannot be caught. Rez will finally be able to trade him back, but Cadian's trying to hold the cross of the AWP. That Molotov goes onto the site, and that will stop NiP from getting the plant, at least temporarily. But they have time to wait. There's 50 seconds on the clock, and this Ivy push coming in from Lekro could seal the deal.
Yeah, that said, he might not have any idea where Gade currently resides. They might believe the backline's clear. They also got to worry about Cadian. This flank, you know, while information is deadly, his wife's even more deadly, of course. That's misinformation. Pushing on up, Cadian leading the charge. Gonna try and land a no-scope, and that works. Now a 2-on-2. Gade in the backline, and they did believe it was clear. He's picked up Boris, but they have no clue where Lekro currently resides as they clear out the back. They do anticipate that he's gone on a flank, and Cadian now trying to spot him out. Taps on that bomb. Isn't sticking it. Damage done. And time working against North now. Surely they don't let this round elude them. Smoke going to start to fade. Cadian sticking it. Electro has to shut this down, and Cadian's going to land the shot. Sticking the defuse. Is there enough time left? It's going to come down to the wire. And he's just short with milliseconds to spare. NiP picking up a 14th round.
Mate, I thought that round was done way before Cadian even got that kill, so fair enough to actually get the frag onto Electro and make it almost a reality for North. That is a really unfortunate round there. And yeah, as you said, it was all down to the lack of knowledge of Electro's flank. And while, okay, maybe he wasn't able to come in and get those kills to stop the retake from happening initially, he wins the clutch out. North not ready for that one. And it was the open plant. That's a big factor as well. Actually sticking that bomb plant on the left side of the train instead of default allowed Electro to play that late flank. And as a result, look at this money, Harry. It's just pistols here for North. Nice start for Valdi. Does take down Dennis, but it's not going to be enough because Rez has caught 2 in response. NiP running wild over this round. Only a couple of CTs left up.
Yeah, that's AZ and Gade, and these two aren't really anticipating that they get anything done now on the back of this. They've only got the vanilla pistols and a PT50 on AZ. Forrest going to go in and take the fights, and he wins them both. So match point now in favor of NiP as they look to close out this first match in a very dominant fashion. They already beat the best team in the world and the best Danish team in the world on this map. Yeah, they're looking to try and sock it to the North boys as well.
Yeah, this buy is far from optimal for what could be the last round of the map. No kit, only one player with a full set of utility, not a single incendiary, and again, no AWP. Luckily enough for NiP, they are in a similar space. They don't have that AWP, but more out of choice rather than lack of money. And they want to keep some in the bank as well, so maybe not wanting to overinvest and allowing North to get back into this game too easily. Cadian close on the B-bomb site with Valde as well. NiP looking like they just want to end this in a flurry of frags as they set up for another drop play. No smokes go alongside this. They're just going to go right in, and Valde waiting on the other side of this spools. Oh, he has no idea. They've already found a kill, but they line up. He gets one, almost the second to Dennis. Molotov to the connector to cut off the CT rotation. That bomb can go down once again. Electro is once more on a flank, this time not through Ivy, but out in T-Con, and he's just keeping up the pressure. AZ burning in the Molotov to his death, and just like that, it's a 1v3 to try and keep the map alive for Kiebi.
He's sneaking on in, though. Kiebi trying to come in with the backstab, lands the flick on a get right, but it's not enough. NiP, they will be closing out this first map on Train as they win it 16-9 over North. Looking fantastic here, and an unreal T-side at that. They really are starting to become a bit of a threat here on Train, it looks like. Certainly not a team that I think many of the teams in Pro League want to run into on this map. The dominant stuff, a fantastic showing from Lecro and Forest in particular. That is going to be this first map over and done with. We'll be back with the second and the desk after the break.
Vote